Welcome. My name is Newman García, and I'll be guiding you through this energy reading. Let's begin with a deep breath. Inhale from the bottom of your tailbone, climbing up your spine to the crown of your head. Hold it. Slowly exhale. Trust that if you found this, then whatever is meant to be heard will be said through me as a conduit for source energy. Let's begin with an oracle card. Thank you for being here. Heart chakra. You have opened your heart to receive. You're ready. Your mind-heart coherence, mind-heart, is balanced. You're no longer fighting against yourself. You have relaxed into who you came to be. Your soul chose this storyline to experience newness. And from the perspective of the soul at the time of choosing, you saw the basis of the storyline. But what needs to be really understood is what's coming through is that it's never done. It's not a book that has been finished that you're picking up to read and play this role. It is an always evolving, never-ending story that you are playing. And now that you have opened your heart chakra, you have aligned your mind-heart coherence, you are directly connected to the broader perspective of all that is the interconnectedness of every human on this planet, every human that has ever been on any planet. We're all connected. And you're here to embody your unique individual role, whatever that means to you. Wow, what a great start to this reading. Let's pull some tarot. 5 of discs, worry. Worry about not being supported in the material realm with this embodiment of your source intelligence, your spirituality. The thing that to let go of this, because I do feel that whoever I'm speaking to still has a bit of this worry of, can I truly be safe and supported by following my heart center, my soul guidance? And something that you can do is to realize that everything is spiritual. You don't have to have a spiritual business per se that's labeled that to be a spiritual business, for all of it is spiritual. Matter, the material world, is a manifestation of spirituality. There is no separation. And to whoever is listening to this, that is something that's going to click and turn you into a totally different being as you walk on this earth with a different lens. This is a permission slip to perceive through the eyes of Source as everything I do is spiritual. There is no separation. And the second you do that, full body chills, if you know, you know, I get those for confirmation. The second you do that, the worry completely dissipates. Because you realize that you don't have to do anything specific in order to align yourself to your soul's mission, your spirituality. And instead, all you need to do is follow your heart center in each present moment. I say this a lot on this channel lately. How you do something is what's important. It's not what you're doing. It's how you're doing it. Are you fully present and embodied in your physical vessel, enjoying the action? That is the highest level of spirituality that you can achieve in this 3D plane. It's presence. Interesting. Ten of Wands. Oppression. The closing out of a cycle of believing that your soul mission needs to be something that is labeled in the spiritual realm. This is interesting that this is coming through. Some of the most spiritual businesses, Chick-fil-A is popping in my head for some reason. I guess because they close on Sundays. They're very, I think it's a Christian-based organization, which whatever, it's all one. But they're serving their people, right? The people there are happy to work there. They genuinely learn the goodness of service to humanity, and they serve a lot of people. And no need to get into any politics or details. It's just a perspective to choose of recognizing I don't have to be an energy reader like Newman or a yoga teacher or whatever it may be. I can just do my day job. My husband's a software engineer, or bakers, whatever. I can just do that through a level of presence that I bring down this spirituality into all of it. You came here to experience this human story that is, I started at the beginning, that's ever evolving, which leads you to your emotional fulfillment. 3 of Cups, abundance. True abundance is emotional fulfillment, because when you are emotionally fulfilled, what does that actually mean? It means you are in resonance, you are in line, you are tuned in, tapped in, turned on to the source within you, to the spirit within you, to your soul's mission. That's what emotion is. Energy in motion. And when you feel out of alignment, when you're not feeling great, which that's all perspective, right? Anger feels better than depression. So all emotions are good. But when you're in dissonance of the source within you, you feel that almost pinching off of energy, that disconnection. You're never fully disconnected, but that kind of pinching off, if you imagine a garden hose, like pinching it off and it stops the flow. When you let go of that and recognize my presence in my preferred state of being, which is the source within you. Your preferred state of being is the source within you. It is the source within you loves everything about every moment of your life. True. All of it. And those of you watching this right now know that. You have done the inner child healing or are in that process. You have aligned your energies to love every moment of your story in recognition that it all served you to get to here, and you have fallen so deeply in love even with the contrast of your present moment. Your life might have a lot of fires right now that you are managing, but you're satisfied. You're emotionally fulfilled because you recognize my soul clearly wanted to experience this for some reason. So my role is to perceive why I chose to play this role in this time and space. Interesting reading. And with your heart chakra open, it becomes really almost effortless to do that. You might have emotion arise. My voice, which maybe it's just changed permanently, but it is like this because I was screaming in the car the other day because I had a wave of intense anger arise. And I had to process it. There might have been a version of me that bottled that emotion up, which would have caused physical dis-ease, which did cause physical dis-ease in my body. And now it's I don't let it bottle up at all. I'm not going to go into a store and scream like crazy, because there are times and places to process, and your inner being knows. Hear this. If you are experiencing waves of emotion right now, there's a lot of energy changes at the time of this reading, and it's timeless. There always are a lot of energy changes. That's the nature of creation. But if you're processing a lot of maybe what could be perceived as lower vibrational emotions, anger, disappointment, fear, worry, doubt, and they're just coming in waves, trust that they will only come in times and spaces that you're able to process them, that you're able to pull up a chair and sit with worry and say, hey, worry, come here. What's going on? What are we actually worried about? What are we doubting? Is this rooted in source, or is this a fear that I have attached to my life story through experience that law of attraction has proven, and I need to let it go? You will only have these waves of emotion from this point forward, guaranteed. If you're still listening, 11 minutes in, 11:22 on the clock. You will only have these waves of emotion appear to you in a time that it is appropriate to process them. Appropriate for you to feel safe to process them, I want to say. So my wave of anger, for example, I'm in the car, I'm alone, no one's in there, I can scream. No one's getting hurt, I can let it out. To the point where I was laughing. I'm like, this is crazy. And to the point, my throat chakra has been releasing a lot. This is relevant for someone. I used to get sick a lot, like strep throat and different things, because I was afraid to express myself as a child of all of the BS that I was around. I held it in and got sick. And now my throat is releasing all of those past traumas. And so oftentimes I almost like hawk up a loogie. I did it right before this actually too. Your body is purging all of this emotional toxicity within you right now. And that's coming through your heart chakra opening, because when you align your chakras, anything that is no longer in resonance with the source within you that leads to your emotional fulfillment, 3 of Cups, abundance, must leave. And it will leave. Maybe you'll go to the bathroom and purge. Maybe you'll have your throat chakra release. Maybe your arms will flail through the air to release tension that was in your shoulders. Your role is to allow your body to process, to energy in motion, release that emotion. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing that you need attention with. Just relax and allow it, and trust that when these waves of emotion come up, they're meant to be felt. They're meant to be seen as a friend of contrast, of, hey, I don't prefer this, but you are what you are, and what you are is perfect, and I'm going to allow you to process, because otherwise, if you don't, that's when the emotion embodies in your physical vessel and you get dis-ease to the point where you do need attention, which is really what we're moving away from in humanity, because this knowledge, this consciousness that is streaming through me right now is streaming through many other creators who are sharing this identical message in different ways. You found me because we are in resonance. I am your teacher, you are my student, just as you are my student, and just as I am your student, you are my teacher. We're all in this together. There's an infinite number of ways to express the same bottom line of all is right always. And the overarching message of this that I'm receiving is Source isn't out ahead of you. Source is within you, creating life through you in each present moment. And your role is not to predict the future or analyze the past. It is to allow the emotion, energy in motion, to flow through you, through your alignment of your chakras. I have Queen of Swords, and that is the truth. Full body chills. That is the truth, which is why it resonates with you as you hear these words that I'm speaking. You know that you are an emotional being. Everything that any human on this planet wants is because they believe that they will feel better in the having of it. I challenge anyone to argue that. Whether it's a relationship, a material object, an experience, they believe that they will feel better in the having of it. And the truth is, your role is to feel better now, which means if you're experiencing angst, anger, disappointment, worry, it's not to avoid and run and numb. It's to sit up and pull up a chair and breathe deeply and say, what are you teaching me right now? What is my soul wanting to learn from this experience, from this emotion? Is it simply wanting to experience this emotion for the contrast? You can only go as high as you have been low. We live in this 3D plane is duality. And we've discussed this many times on this channel. Everything is neutral, and you have gained that understanding where you can maintain in the neutrality with the recognition that you can only go as high as you have gone low. So maybe you're experiencing waves of emotion in order to cleanse you for this next chapter of reaching a new level. That's exactly what's happening. You are cleansing your physical vessel, your energetic vessel, your emotional body of these lies. Queen of Swords sees through the lies and cuts the head off. You see her, she chopped that head off. The lies of lack of well-being, the lies of there's something wrong with you because that you need to express yourself. Every physical dis-ease is rooted in emotional dis-ease, which is rooted in usually fear from as a child of not being able to express yourself because you were dependent on your parents. This is part of the human story. And your role at this point in your story is to open your heart and say, thank you for that part of my story. I'm now free and able to express my truth, the truth. There's only one truth, and it's love. In order to help others in whatever way that means to you. Ties back to the beginning of this message. Everything is spiritual, so it doesn't matter what you do. It matters how you do it. Maybe you are like my husband, who's a software engineer, and you're a part of a team. This isn't his, I'm just giving an example, that is chaotic, unstable, and you're there to stabilize it through your own embodiment of stability. If you're on this channel, you are someone that is here to grid work is popping in my head, to do grid work, which means, prime example, you know that I drive for Uber. I've been doing Uber delivery lately. And I was in a Wendy's, I think it was Wendy's, I don't know, some fast food restaurant, which is not somewhere that I would typically go. And there was chaos. And I felt myself observing very neutrally. There was a wait on things, different riders were waiting. And I put my hand down, facing out, but down. And I just breathed and I said, may all beings in this facility know their worthiness. I had full body chills. And then this little boy walked in and he couldn't stop staring at me. Have you noticed that children stare at you? Because when you have aligned with the source within you, you radiate the truth of light, which children already come in knowing. They came to teach the adults that they are born into, just so you know, not the other way around. And they are the answer to the adult's question, to the adult's prayer. And my point in sharing that is your role. You are here to ground new frequencies within the environments that you are in with this knowledge without necessarily having to speak this truth that I'm speaking. Just your embodiment of calmness and presence under any situation is enough, heart chakra, is enough to balance out the energy of the entire field. Full body chills. This is very resonant for someone right now. I don't even think this is a specific message. I think everyone who is 20 minutes in on the dot, you are someone here to balance out the energies of this planet through your own embodiment of balanced energies. Every time your heart beats, it literally radiates out a frequency. It's the ripple effect. And your role is to keep steady under all conditions. Maybe you're in the middle of traffic and you're able to be at ease, which you might not get the validation or recognition or any of that. But just knowing that you're at ease assists everyone else around you to be at that. It's like saying, hey, here's this belief system that I have embodied of knowing that all is right always, that everything is good. You can choose to come along with me or not, and you are unaffected by the person's choice. That came through strong. Let's pull some more oracle. That's the deeper truth. Wow, this is a really deep message. If you're on this channel, you have really come here, 21:21 on the clock, right when I look down, have really come here with the intention to uplift humanity through whatever creative expression calls to you the most. You could be an Uber driver. I'm not kidding. It doesn't matter what you do. When I look back at all of my jobs, I have been someone who has had many, many, many jobs, because now I realize why. I have been placed in specific places for energetic balance, and I'm sure you can relate to that. My path has looked very different from anyone in my family. Most of them get a job and stay with it forever. But me, I'm brought into different places, and I feel that you deeply resonate with that. In recognition that it doesn't make you better or worse than anyone, it just is you're following, this ties back to this worry. You will be supported. You always have. You always have. I'll never forget it was my second job. And I quit it before having another, and my parents were like, you can't quit a job before having another one. And I said, I'll have another one within 2 weeks. I gave a 2-week notice, and I did. I quit it so I could date my manager, because he wouldn't date me otherwise. You're designed to shake things up, to go against the grain. You know what going against the grain does? My husband cooks a lot, and he loves grilling. And when you cut against the grain, with certain meats, it tenderizes it, it softens it, it loosens things up. That's you. You come in and shake things up and say, all right, we've done it this way for this long, time to change it up. Because we're here for the fun of it. There's nothing serious going on here. And the more you relax into that, the more you're able to relax into your acceptance that you're not meant to know what happens next. You're meant to be enjoying the present of what is happening now, and to optimistically expect a blissful future, because you have tuned your frequency to that of the source within you, and you have cleared out or are in the process of clearing out any leftover emotional tension that needs and deserves the opportunity to be fully and completely expressed in whatever way that makes sense to you. Maybe you're painting your anger through art. Wonderful. Maybe you're screaming in the car like I was. Great. Maybe you love to go to the gym and process it physically by lifting weights. It doesn't matter what you do. It matters how you do it. And to just constantly be shedding the feathers. We talk about letting go a lot. Let's pull another oracle card. I'm curious. Let your spirit soar. Very relevant. In order to let your spirit soar, you must be a master of the art of detachment. Detachment of future outcomes. I mention my teacher Bashar often on this, so clearly someone else, maybe go listen to him or them, whatever. But they say the formula for creation is very simple. Follow your highest excitement to the best of your ability with zero insistence or assumptions on the outcome. That's it. because everything that you want is for the feeling of it. And the more you follow your highest excitement, the more you will be brought conditions that excite you, experiences that thrill you, newness in each now moment that please you. It's logical. It's law of attraction. So the way to let your spirit soar is zero insistence or assumptions on the outcome and completely letting go of the past. I repeat this a lot because I still need the repeating. I am by no means perfect with this at all. Ask my husband. He loves me unconditionally. We're all in this together. We're all doing great. Let's pull one more oracle card to close this. Because you have taken off the mask. You know who you are. You know your source resonance. And now you recognize how many teachers you've had along your physical trail who were designed to awaken you. Isn't it fun? Don't spend forever doing it, but to think of your storyline of, they were awake. I'll never forget this woman that I worked with at Day Spa. She was a nail technician, and she was very... Honestly, I thought she was always stoned, and she might have been, no judgment. But now I realize she drove a little smart car, and just like, she was always smiling and happy, but it was kind of, I don't know, from my perspective, I was very, at that time in my life, I was very controlling, very OCD. I was managing 30-something employees, and I was a little over my head. And I kind of, honestly, I knee-jerk kind of judged her because she was so free-spirited. And now I realize she was designed to activate me. If by any weird chance Janice is listening, thank you. Because you really activated me. And I'm sure that you, on this other side of the screen, can recognize all of those who activated you that, glad I brought that up, that were from a kind of simple perspective, a nail technician. She knew who she was. She knew she was there to embody calm, peace, happiness, and free-spirited under all conditions. That was a super chaotic environment that I was in. Ironic because it was a spa, but that's a whole nother story another day. You're here to embody your truth in whatever role you're expressing yourself to be right here and now, and you will be supported. Let go of this worry. Don't let go of it by ignoring it. Let go of it by sitting down with it and transmuting the energy, doing the molding of the clay with your mind to work your way up the emotional scale to where you move from worry to everything is okay, to hope, to knowing. Do the emotional work, the emotional transmutation. You're a divine alchemist. You know how to do this. And I feel called to suggest go practice my yoga because it will slow you down enough to release wherever it's held within your physical vessel. It is a very different practice than what I've seen anywhere else. So that's the message I have for you. If you're interested in a private reading, I would love to guide you. I would love to speak directly to your inner being, to you and through you. Thank you so much. NewmanFlows.com. Until next time. Namaste.